Okay, I think I am there. I think I'm set up and I even have my tea. I managed to do it all today. I got my groceries. Didn't put them away. They're sitting there. That's okay. I put away what needed to be put away. Hello, happy Friday. It is Friday, another day for Mask Make March. And today for Mask Make March, I will be creating tickets. Now, in December, I made a huge pile of tickets. Huge. So this size I don't really need. If you can see, like I have them in all different colors, shapes, and sizes. But I do want to show you guys how I make them. Before I do that, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. I've had questions about the clusters, the thread clusters that I made in, I think it was Tuesday's video, and how I used them. So right here, I have a little journal card, and I put the thread cluster behind the little girls to give it more texture. That is how I used them. I didn't want to not answer, and I know that what I answered to the lady that asked me, it was not necessarily, like it sounded a little bit dismissive, and I didn't mean to do that. I just didn't have the answer so quickly, and I used these in so many projects that I couldn't just say, okay, well, check out this video or that video, but I used them in many, many videos. So right here, this is how I used them. I put them behind stuff to get some texture going. I'm trying to think if there's another one that I have handy. I think there's one in here as well. Right here, I have another one. So I put the cluster behind the lady, and the colors kind of match with everything else. And it just gives it texture and a little bit of interest to the, in this case, the belly band that I put on the side, where you can flip things in there. You can do whatever you want with that. So that is how I use my thread clusters. Please let me know if you have any more questions about the thread clusters, because once I get started on the tickets, I will be going to the tickets, and I am not touching the thread clusters until I am ready to decorate. Okay, so I'll put those aside. So like I said, I made a whole bunch of tickets in December. So this size, the smaller size, I don't really need, but I'm going to cut a few strips just to show you how I do it. And then I want to go to a little bit bigger ones, and I want to decorate them. So what I am doing, and I got a new blade for my paper cutter. I'm so excited. It's not going to have all the little garbage stuff on it anymore. Okay, so what I have here is, this is mixed media paper, so it is a fairly heavy paper. And I'm going to turn this into tickets, and I'm going to see if I can turn one of these sheets into this size. So these tickets I make by using one whole sheet of 12 by 12. Usually I just use like a little bit of a lighter weight material, but I'm going to try it this time because I want to do some heavier mixed media with it. So I want to try it with a little heavier material. So how I make these, the measurements for these are, so it's a full strip of 12 by 12, and then I cut them at about 1.5 inches. because I like my tickets and my labels to all be half the width of the length. So if the length is 3 inches, then the width's got to be 1.5. Okay. So I'm just going to cut a couple here and see how my new blade is holding up. Ooh, it feels very different. Look at that. It's a beautiful straight line. There's no fibers hanging off of it. So I'll just cut a bunch of 12 by 12 or of 1.5 inch strips. And I know this is very boring, but I didn't want to not go through the full process. So happy Friday. I'm so happy it's Friday today. Oh, it was a long week. I don't know why it was so long, but it just seemed like everything had pressure on it this week. So I was happy that we're done with that. Okay. So since it's Mass Make March, it makes sense to me to mass make tickets during a live video. Why not? Okay. And like I said earlier, if you have questions about the thread clusters, let me know. Put a comment down. I'll be happy to answer it. Okay, so now I have a whole bunch of strips of 1.5 by 12. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold them in half. Fold it in half, and then I'm taking the bottom part and I'm folding it back to where I just folded it, so that you kind of get the 4 high. So like that. So now I kind of have a strip that looks like that. Let me go long like that. So I'm going to do that for all of them. Maybe not all of them, because this is so boring. I don't even like doing this. I don't like the folding part. So I'm making tickets, and I am doing that by folding these strips of 1.5 by 12 that I cut out of a 12 by 12 sheet of mixed media paper. And I'm just folding them into tickets right now so I can go to the next step. I'm sorry, it's not the fastest way to do this. I've got a couple left, it's fine. I have 4 here in front of me. So out of one 12 by 12 sheet of paper, you will get 8 strips of 1.5 inches wide. Now I have all of these. What are the tickets for? The tickets are for decorations in your journal. So I have a hole punch. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and show you on camera. I'm going to have to take it not with all four at the same time. I am just going to cut it so that just the corner comes off like that. And then right there, just the corner. So I'm just cutting them around. Ooh, that's and just that corner still. So there we go. Now I have a strip of something that looks like tickets. Let me put these aside. And I like my tickets to have the perforated pieces on the center so that you can easily tear them off. And how I do that is I have everything right here, but of course you can't find it when you're looking for it. So then I'm going to grab my ruler. Of course they look like tickets. And I'm lining this up so that the fold line is right over top of one of these lines. And then I am using my my pattern tracing wheel. And I'm just going to go over here. And I'll have to go back and forth a few times because this is pretty thick. But you get like a perforated edge right there. And then you can rip it off just like that, just like a ticket. So now this really looks like a ticket. But I keep them, normally I keep them on the all together because they're easier to store like this. So there you go. There's the whole strip of tickets. And they are perforated. It doesn't show on the back, but the front is, and it kind of makes a perforated edge like that. So let me show you how I did that again. I'll do the next one. So I'm just going to cut just a quarter of the hole punch. Oh, wow, bad English. I am just using a quarter of the hole punch and cutting the corners as an inverted corner. So I'll do that again. And this paper is pretty heavy duty, so that's why normally I do it all four at the same time and it goes really quick. This is going a little slower because the paper is so heavy. I think I got them all though. There we go. And then I'll show you again how I do that with the tracing wheel. Okay. Now you can do like this, just as it happens to be that this has a perforated edge on this side, but on this side you can also do the exact same thing. You're just going to take just a little bit of a strip right there and go over it with the tracing wheel. And then You should be able to, let me just try and line that up again. So I'll just go over it and over it and over it, and then you have it looking like this edge was perforated as well. So there we go. They are, I have 2 of these strips now. I'm going to put the other ones aside. And I want to show you what I actually want to do today. So these are the little ones. This is how I make my tickets all the time. But I want to make something a little bit bigger. I think that is more fun. So I want to make it double size today. So instead of, no, not double size, I want to make them 1.5 times the size. So instead of 3 by 1.5, I want to make them 2 by 4. So I'm going to take my paper cutter again, and I'm going to cut strips of 2 inches. And just in case you're wondering, this is Foundations paper by Vicky Booten, and I love it for anything mixed media. It holds really well, and it is great for whether you're using markers or colored pencils or paints. It's just perfect. So I'm just cutting 2-inch strips. And then instead of getting 4 little tickets, I will only be getting 3 tickets. So I just wanted to do something a little different. So now I am going to lay these on here, and these are 1-inch increments on my glass plate. So I'm just going to fold them. Actually, I'm going to grab my scoreboard. Maybe. I have a scoreboard. But I can't find it, so I'll have to use the one that I don't really like using. Okay, I'm going to use my scoreboard that I don't overly like to use, and I have a thingy. So I need to score these at 4 inches. And then again, lay it down there, and then again at 4 inches. Oops. And then I can fold them a little bit easier. Like that. So now I have just, so this is the size that I normally make, and then I cut it a little different, and now they're bigger. So I'll do that with a couple of these. Okay. So I have 3 here. If I'm going to make more, then I will just do a couple more. So I did not do that very well. That one is going to need a little help. Let me do one more. Okay, so again, 4 inches. I don't know what I was scoring it at. Okay. But the principle is the same. So I am just going to cut the corners off of these and turn them into tickets. This side as well. And there we have larger tickets. And I just love the shape of these to use in pockets and in journals and all of that. And I love it when they're decorated. So now they're just kind of boring, plain white tickets, or they're not even white, they're kind of a creamy color. And I'm laying my ruler right along the fold line and going along with my tracing wheel and turning this into a perforated line. And I'll do that again. And I have a perforated line on that side as well. So I showed you with the little tickets that you can use your tracing wheel to do a perforated line simulation on the edge there as well. So I'm just putting it right on the edge of the paper and then just going over top of it. Until I have something resembling a ripped edge on a ticket. Just like that. So they fold up, they're easy to store, and there you go. I'll do that once more because I want to have a couple that I can decorate. So I'm cutting the corners. Do you use tickets in your journals? What do you use to fill pockets for your journals? Do you use tickets or journal cards or tags? Okay. Oops, I'm sorry. I shook the whole table. And that side is perforated too. Forgot to do this side. And then I can just kind of make this look somewhat distressed and like a ticket has been cut off there. All right, so I have three. Oh, I didn't even cut the ends off of these. So what I want to do with these is I want to decorate them. I want to get one set ready to be able to go into a journal. Okay, there is 3 of them ready to go. And I'm just going to put this aside and have a quick drink of tea. So I have 2 sets of narrow tickets and 2 sets or 3 sets of the wider ones. And I want to, do a little bit of ink. I want to get a little bit of ink on there. But before I put any ink on it, I want to do a little stamping on them. So I'm going to put them side by side and I'm going to stamp really neatly, not all over them. So I'm just grabbing stamps and going to just randomly stamp all over the tickets. So I have a script stamp. I've had this stamp for a very, very long time. And yeah, I use it all the time when I need some script. So I'm just going to randomly put some texture all over the page. I am not concerned if it is straight or upside down. It is just for texture. And I'm using archival ink because I am going to use wet medium over top. So then I'll grab a different one. Let me see what I have. I don't want another script stamp. I think I may use one of these. This is a ticket shape, so that's kind of cool to use. And it'll be a completely different shape tickets than what I'm actually using. So I'm just going where I haven't touched with the other stamp. And again, I am not overly concerned if it isn't straight. I'll just do these one by one. And I do want to make every single ticket different. So they're not going to be all the same, even though they have the same stamping on it. Every ticket is going to look different. And I'm very obviously also not concerned on how the ink gets onto the paper, if it is perfect, or I'm not concerned. It's all texture, it's all just for some background on them. I have some rulers. I think I want to put some numbers on there. I'll take this one. Just to get something else. And I won't do that with all of them. I'll do one set that has the ruler strips. And I'm just going on 2 of the tickets at the same time. And that was a terrible idea. Oh well. It works. I'll take a different one for the other ones. I'll do them a little different. This one has the 1, 2, 3. So I think I want to put that on the smaller tickets that are all 3 inches long. So I can, it's obviously not exact, but it still looks cool. Maybe I'll do one that has it in centimeters. Why not? I do have other ones, other rulers as well. Let's see if I grab those. I don't think I did. No. Okay, I'll take something different. I just don't want to do all of them the same. I want to do everything just a little different because that's just way more fun. I won't need the block for this. I'm going to take this, and I am just going to take just the stamp, and I'm going to lay it down. And I actually find that I am way more precise when I'm just doing it like this than if I use the block. I don't know why. But I don't need them all to be fully legible. I just want to kind of just lay it down so you kind of get something that looks like that. I will take a different color ink in a moment too. But right now I'm just working with the black, and then I'll go to some maybe orange. Just trying to see what other ticket or what other stamp I want to use. I'm just trying to get a background going. I am not concerned about if it is actually perfect or it's just for the background, which is much easier to do when it's just the little ones. For the bigger ones, I'm going to have to be a little bit more precise, but for these little ones, I don't have to be. I want to get some numbers on there so that it looks like they are number tickets. And to do that, I want a different color archival ink. And I happen to have a bright Tangelo. Don't ask me where it came from. I also have a Paradise Teal. So between the two, I think I can get something fun going. I need something that has numbers on it. And then let's start with a Tangelo and see what happens. I'll use this one, and I want to get the number right there on the bottom, just like that. So I'm just getting color onto my tickets. And this is before I do anything else. Once I get the stamping done, I'm going to go to the coloring, and then I'll do some collaging on them as well. I don't mind these at all. I don't think I want to do that on these. I want something different. I want this one. And I am going to use a block for this one, mostly because it's such a little stamp. And I'm going to use the Paradise Teal. So that set is ready to be colored. And then I have some flowers here. Is there something, could I do something with those? And I don't like those. Add some more flowers. Oh, I have some of these. Let's do some of these on one of those big ones. We'll use the flowers. I think I want to put the flowers in the centers, but I want to get some stuff on there first. So let's use the Paradise Teal. And I don't even know if I'm covering the whole stamp. I don't overly care. So just want a very faint color behind there. But I'm using archival so that I can go over it with wet medium. Okay. I think I want to use, I know I have a ground espresso somewhere too. But I'm not sure where I stuck it. I found it. It is right here on my desk. Here we go. Ground espresso. So I want to take some of these flowers, and in ground espresso, I am going to put them right here in the that ticket box or a ticket frame. Oh, that did not go very well. Why did that not go very well? Because see if I can line that up properly again. Now I'm making a mess. There's actually no ink behind there, that's why. It's not very pretty, but it's there. Let me try a different flower. So apparently I don't want to use the block. I thought I wanted to use the block, but no, because then I make a mess. Oh, that's much better. Look at that. That is pretty. Yeah, that came out good. I like that. Maybe I'll try a different one. Oh, that one came out good too. So I just messed up on the tulip. It's okay. You can't win them all. What do I want to do with these? Any suggestions? Maybe I just want to Well, I have some bigger flowers. I can put like a flower just like that on the side. That would be cute. So just laying it down. Doesn't have to be perfect, which it definitely is not. Maybe these daisies. So they are going to be all ripped separately anyway, so it doesn't matter if they're not all matchy or anything like that. It's not a concern. Oh, that one came out good. I like that. Let's do the lavender. I don't know if it is lavender. It looks like lavender to me. I'm just turning it around because it's easier to reach. Yep, those are good. Okay, what else do I have? I know I have something else that I kind of like that I can put in there. So I have one strip left of the big ones. And I think I want to use some of these. So they are brocade or damask type of designs. So they'll look completely different. And I'm not using the stamp block because I find it really hard to line it up, where when I'm using the just my fingers and the stamp, then I get it to be exactly in the position where I want it to be. I like it. One more. And then I have the stamping done and I can go to making a mess. Oh, they're pretty. Yep. I think I do want to put some numbers on these. I have this set, and I think what would be really cute is to put like a line of this right along here. So I'll do that with, well, I'll do that with the Paradise Teal. Why not? And in this case, I am going to use the block because it's a straight line and I don't want to have that going kind of wrong. Sorry, I forgot to plug my phone in and it is yelling at me that it is losing power. There we go. We're good. Okay, so I'm just using some teal. There we go. it's mostly to get some kind of interest on the tickets, and then when I'm decorating them, it's much easier to get something to get it to look good. Yeah. Okay, what else do I have? Oh, this one really wanted to be used. So I'll take the orange. I wish I had red. It would look way cooler if I have red, but I don't. So I have lots of white spaces left on this, and I'm not happy with that. I want that to be somewhat colored. Let me just take one of these and use just a little bit of the teal. And apparently I really want it to be upside down. I'm just trying to get color in there and some texture. Even though I will be putting other stuff over top, I still want that little bit of interest on there. So that's much better. That one is good. That one is good. That one's good. And that goes with that. So let's go and make these a little bit more fun and interesting. So I'll put my stamps aside. And the stamp block, the stamp inks. And I have my distress inks. So I'm going to grab a couple of distress inks that I like to use. And I'm grabbing a dried marigold, a wild honey, and an aged mahogany. So I'm just going to do that for the first strip, and then I'll take different colors for the next one. So I have 3 colors here, and I just want to wipe up right here. I've got a little bit of archival ink, and I don't want to mix that. So I'm going to do some smushing. So let's move this over. And I've got wild honey here, just putting a little bit on there. Some dried marigold. Ooh. I might need some refiller. I know my aged mahogany doesn't need refiller. I know it is good to go. Okay. Then I'm going to take some water and just get that to move a little bit. And then I can just dip these in the ink and I get something that looks like that. They never look the same. Which is actually what makes this so much fun when you're doing that. So I have one that's a little bit more yellow than the rest, but there we go. one strip is colored. It's that simple. Oh, there's a little black on here. I was making a mess the other day, and yeah. Okay, so for this one, I want to use some blues. So I can put the other ones away. And I have some blues. They're beautiful. I love my distress inks. So I think I want to use peacock feathers. Tumbled glass. And I want to mix that with a scorched timber. Why not? Let's try that. Scorched timber. Scorched timber is really, really dark. There. Peacock feathers is a beautiful blue, turquoise blue. And tumbled glass is a very nice pale blue color. Spray some water. And I'm just dipping this into the ink. And I don't know if you can see, but I'm making a huge mess here because they're not moving how I want them to move. Let me just let this run a little bit. I want it to kind of run over the ink. There it goes. I have an orange and I have a blue one, and this is the little ones. So let's see what we can do with the big ones. Need to clean this up. And let's do some browns. I have walnut stain. I have some frayed burlap. And I have an antique linen. Actually, instead of frayed burlap, maybe I want to use my my vintage photo. Yeah, we moved along. Okay. Antique linen is very, very pale. Then vintage photo is a little darker. Whoops. And then walnut stain. You don't need a lot of ink. I prefer personally to use the distress inks over the oxides. I just like that they are more translucent. I want a little bit more on that one. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, those look pretty. I think I may want to do something similar to this one, but I want to use some tea dye. Let's use some tea dye. Some walnut stain again. And some scattered straw, and make it just a little brighter. So we'll spray water in there, and I'm going to dip the tickets in there. And now it's no longer boring white paper. This one is super pretty. It came out really nice. Okay, so I have a bunch here ready to be decorated now. So these bigger ones I'm just going to let dry, but these are just about ready. So I'll put my inks away, and by the time I've got that done, these should be good. I'm afraid I just put my vintage photo away. There it is. I did put it away. Okay, so I'm going to ink around these. These are drying, and they dry. This dries pretty quick because it is mixed media paper. It's made to be drying quickly. So I'm taking my vintage photo, and I'm just going to ink around them, and that is going to make the color stand out just that little bit more. I'm just going to ink all of them. One more. And then these, they're still kind of dampish, but that's okay. These are not, so by the time I've got the orangey ones decorated, the blue ones will be ready. Oops. There we go. 2 sets inked and ready to go. Just want to move some stuff over. Now comes the fun part. So it's taking the stamps away. And I have a bin with all kinds of stuff here that I can use to decorate. Something I did, I was playing with wax seals. And just in case you are wondering still how to use the thread clusters, I took a thread cluster and I put the wax seal in there. So I just poured the wax in, put the seal on it, and then like, look how cool that is. So I can just put that on there and I have a full decoration on my ticket. Just like that. But that is way too easy. So I have some ladies here and I just want to see if I have something that is small enough to go on here or if I need to go a little bit different. Ooh, that butterfly would look really nice too. I also have labels in here, lots and lots of labels. I threw everything in here that I thought I would be able to use. Oh, I have a bunny. I have a bunny. How cute is that bunny? Or this lady. Oh, I like this lady. She's kind of like a femme fatale. If I put her like that, that would work. I like that. Let me find my scissors. And I'll cut her bottom right off. And I need to fussy cut the inside. So I'm going to grab my knife because I'm not sure where I put my little fussy cut scissors. And I'm just going to cut out the inside here. Whoops. Trying not to cut my fingers off. Last thing I want to do is sit here and fussy cut on camera. That's just not fun. And these are actually stickers. So I'm just taking my vintage photo, quickly giving her a little bit of ink to hide some of the imperfections on the cutting. And then take this off. And I'm going to grab a little glue. Maybe not. I just took the whole thing out. I don't trust that the sticker paper is going to actually stick properly. That's why I'm putting a little bit of glue on there. And then I want her right there. And I'm going to cut her arm right off. That's so pretty. I don't think that one needs a whole lot more. Maybe that's what I want to do for this set, is take a whole bunch of these. Have this one would be beautiful as well. So I'll just go like this. Need about that much less. This is not a sticker. And I'm just going to cut the arm out again. And I will ink around it to hide all the imperfections, because I don't cut all the way. I kind of kiss cut my images, because that way, one, I can put a little bit of ink on there and not have it interfere with the image itself. It just looks nicer when you put a little bit of ink around it. And I think right now I want to use a thread cluster, and I have a couple laying here that, don't I? Yes. So I have them. The pile that I made the other day is right here, and I think I want to grab one of the gold ones that I made. So I can put it right here and then put her over top. So I'm going to cut it in half because I don't need the whole thing. So I'm just going to cut it lengthwise. And because it's been sewn together, it's going to stay together. It's all good. So see, it just stays together because it's been sewn. It's not going to come apart. So now I can put the thread cluster right along the edge. And maybe I want to grab my 3-in-1 glue. I need to do something with this glue bottle. It's just not happy. That's better. So then I'm just putting this right along here. And I'm going to put her, no, I don't want it there. Nope, no, I want it the other way around. Like that. Because I want the threads to kind of come from behind her and not her on top of the threads. So I kind of want it like that. So I'll put some glue behind her. And there's another one. It looks so cool with the orange and the yellow behind her. So I'm just going to cut the arms right off again and keep it within the thing. So it's very simple. And I may put some labels on there still too, but just like this, I've got some really pretty little decorations for my journal, just like that. So now I have the middle one, and I can go on the length, and I think I may put a butterfly here. This yellow butterfly would look so cute. And what I did with the butterfly is I put some iridescent medium over top of it so that it is now all shimmery and shiny. And I'll just ink around the wings. And I want some thingies. Some of these for behind there so that they look, so that it looks like it has feelers. And I'm just going to color these with Vintage Photo. I think I got it for the most part. There, so that can go right behind here. Oh, there's still a white spot there. Okay. But I think I also want some of the threads to go behind it. So maybe I can put these threads like that. And then the butterfly is like on top of it. And then this, yeah, that works. Okay, figured it out. So I'll put some glue right along there. Put the threads in there. Put the butterfly on there. And I'm not gluing the whole butterfly down. I'm leaving the edges of the wings open so that it'll give like an idea of movement. So put it right there. And I'm not going to cut the wings off. They're going to stay like that. And then I just need to stick these right back here. So I need to pull it up a little bit and put some glue right in there. Pick these up and hold them together and stick them right in there. And then glue it back down. And it should work now. It should work. Here we go. One beautiful butterfly. And my lady and my other lady. So I have 3 tickets here. So now if I want to use these in my, oh, you know what? I have that seal. I could put that right there. That would look really cool right there on the edge there. Let's see how I'm going to glue that down. Probably with my 3-in-1 glue, because it is wax and thread. So just going to use some 3-in-1 glue and put it right there. And there we go. How cool is that? That came out really good. It's kind of a not surprised, just, well, surprised that it was that easy to put it together. Sometimes I struggle with these, sometimes they come together very easily. And in this case, because I have been mass making this stuff, everything just kind of comes together super easy and quick. And yeah. So now if I want to use this in my, oof, that glue isn't dry yet. But if I want to use it in my journal, I'm just going to tear a piece off. And then, yes, I do have to ink it again. But I can just stick that in a journal as a decoration or as a little tuck spot on the edge. So again, I'll just pull it apart, ink around there, ink around there, and I have 3 beautiful tickets ready to go. So they're just going to dry, this one for sure. And I have 1 more of these yellow ones. I have more yellow butterflies, but I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to use some labels. So I have a pile of labels here, and they're all from my area. These are all from the 1950s, and they're all from around this area in Manitoba. So I just want to put a little bit of decorations with that in there. And what I'm going to do is I am going to make these printed little pretty labels look a little bit more vintage. So what I have here is I've inked around it. Now I'm going to fold it and kind of scrunch it up. And then ink over those scrunches. And then I'll open it up again. And then it looks a little bit more worn and old. Then I can put glue behind it. And I don't do a lot of additioning for pieces. I mostly just glue it down, and if I don't like where it is, then I'll just lift it up again, put it down again, and yeah. That one, and I think that one over top. Sure. I'll cut it a little smaller. Maybe a little straighter too. And I like the idea that these are all from my own area, because I can make lots of stuff with that I find online and from other areas and such, but there's very little that comes out that is truly Canadian and that is truly from the prairies. So it is kind of nice to have my own stuff. And I am planning on putting this together. There is a couple of labels out there that I've put together. Definitely in my 1950s retro reverie kit is a sheet of labels. So you would be able to do that with that. And then let's see if I have something else that's little. Yep. Is this a sticker? This is a sticker. Haha. Okay. So let's ink it. Always ink it. I ink around every little piece, which is why it's just taking time, but it looks better. Okay, I think that is very cute. What else could I put on there? It's very cute, it's just not finished. Do I want to put another butterfly on there? That one's cool. Why not, huh? Put it like that. So again, I did the butterflies. I put a little bit of iridescent medium over them. And none of these are AI created. This is all created by using my own material, what I own. I want something, I want a little piece of fabric behind there. I have a little bit of this lace. No, I don't like that. Oh, I have a piece of denim. Let's do that. Why not? I want it ripped. And I don't need a lot. So maybe this piece will work. Put that there. And then put the butterfly over it. That gives it a little bit more color. Let's see if we can get some more threads coming off. Just trying to fray it just a little bit more. So if I put it like so, and then the butterfly on there, that works. Glue. And then the butterfly glue. And I'll put this right over top there. I'm just trying to get the butterfly in the exact right position that I want it in. Right there. And then I need to do another one of these. And I may actually use a darker one. Oops, it's not wanting to move how I want it to move. Come on. I think I got it. Oh, a little bit more white left on there. Color that in. And I will lift the tip of the butterfly. I should have done this before I glued it down. Whoops. Put some glue in there, stick these in there. And I'm put it like that. It should stay. And it's now got feelers. So I have 4. Did this actually stick? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tickets to go in my journal. So are these dry? These are dry as well. So I think I want to do one of the big ones and see what we can do with that. And I may actually grab the scorched timber. I think I want to make it look a little bit grungier. I have some of this thread, and I'm just going to make a quick cluster without sewing it. I just want something that is in this color, and I know I don't have anything in that color, so I'm just quickly making a cluster just the same way as I did the other ones. I'm just not sewing around it, and I'm going to put that right there, just because I feel that it needs it. So it's almost as easy as the other ones, just. And then I have a whole bunch of these grungy paper dolls. I love these. And I think they're the right size, or almost the right size. How pretty are these? I think I can take her feet. I'm going to cut her feet right off. Apparently, she doesn't need feet today. Using vintage photo to go around it, and that will look really cool on the sepia. Okay. Putting just some glue. and sticking her right on there. And then I want some labels to go on there. Not that one. That. Let's just see what I have. I think this is going to look really weird. It says, for ensured satisfaction, select personal surface. And I'm going to do the same thing with this that I did with the other ones. So I've inked around it, and now I'm just going to scrunch it up. And ink over those folds. And then when you unfold it, it just looks a little messy. And I'll do the same with this, but I'm going to do it with the scorched timber, so it's a little darker. And again, scrunching it up, kind of just like that, and then ink over top of those fold lines. Oops. And then it turns into something that looks like it's been gone through the wash a few times. Put it like that. I don't know if she, I think she needs some color. There's something missing. But I don't know what. Maybe I just want to keep it very neutral. Let's just keep it neutral. Just don't know what else it would need. What would you put on here? To make it look not so blah, because it just kind of looks blah to me right now. But I guess what I could do is take a bright ink and go around the ticket with bright ink instead of a vintage photo or a scorched timber. So if I take a turquoise and ink around it. And take the peacock feathers. Maybe. Just need to find a new thingy. And then I'll ink around the ticket with peacock feathers, and that is going to give it lots of color. Yeah, that's exactly it. Cut a little bit more of her legs off. Oh, yeah, that is super sweet. So now I can do, the vintage or the scorched timber. So I'm just going to take this one off, put the scorched timber on, and then go around it again, but just on the edges, and make those darker. So the turquoise still stands out, but then you get that nice edge right there. Oh, I like that. That is perfect. I love it. So I've kind of covered up the flowers now, and that's a shame. So I have another one of these girls, so I want to, ooh, that one fits right on there. Do I want to use turquoise? I do. And I know I have some turquoise thread, I think. Somewhat. I'm just going to take a nice big chunk of thread in turquoise and ruffle it up and put it on here. This is very old embroidery floss, and it just doesn't do really what I wanted to do because it is super dry and not as pliable anymore. Put some 3-in-1 glue right there. Spread it out. And then I am just going to drop the thread in there. I know this is, I did this whole video on making thread clusters, and what am I doing? I am messing with glue, and but just because I want that color. Sorry, I just need a little drink. Yeah, that color looks good, because now when I put her on there, then it is, you get that little pop of color coming out from behind. But I do want it to go a little higher as opposed to lower. Yep. Okay, so I can ink around this one. So this project is really, like, it just depends on how much work do you want to put in it. Do you want to, like, just sit there and decorate for a little while? Well, and it's perfect, which is pretty much what I'm doing right now. If you, like, and then you can just save them and keep them in your stash. And when you're looking for something to put into a pocket, you already have little decorated tickets ready to go. I may do a little bit of blue right behind here. That also gives it a little color. So then I can just put glue behind here. And a sticker on there. So these are right now my favorite decorations to use. I really, really love them. They are just so pretty. What do I want to put on here? I've got that one and that one. So now I took one little label and I am just using it as 3 different ones. And just a white label, and you color it up with a little bit of ink, and away you go. Unfold it. That's always the tricky part. That's 2. And then I want one with the scorched timber, just to make it look a little grungier. Love me some grunge. Oh, and I just throw it across. Yep, that's good. Okay. And I want to put these right here so that it's not looking so strange. Like, just kind of covers up the feet and it doesn't make it look like she's just standing in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Glue. This one. And it's just interest. There's nothing, no purpose for it other than I'm just putting a little decoration on here to make it look more fun and vintage. I am going to do the same thing that I did here. So I am going to take the peacock feathers. Just throwing all the labels on the floor now. Oops, come on. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a little bit heavier all the way around so that we get the blue color to come out, and that gives it just that little bit of extra. Just like that. And then I'll take my scorched timber again and go around the edges. There's just so many different steps in doing this, but it is fun. There we go, 2 done like that. I think they're pretty. What do you think? Can you give me idea in the comments. What do you think I should do with the next one? I have boys, I have bunnies, I have more ladies. I have vintage, like I have sepia ladies, but I also have a beautiful lady in an evening gown. How beautiful would that be on there? Because they don't all have to be the same, right? If I go like that, let's see. Do I have one that is more in that teal color? I do, but not cut small, not in a small size. Oh, how cool would that be? But again, I don't have her in a smaller size. And this is one from my stash. Let's see. Sometimes it just gets very complicated. So I have, last night I sat and I cut out a whole lot of things from a 1958 Canadian home journal. And I have tons and tons of stuff here that I can use. So let's see if there's maybe a pretty lady or something that I go, oh, I have these. Yeah. Okay. How cool are these? They're from a magazine, from the Canadian Home Journal magazine from 1958. So I think that would look really cute on there too, to put on there. Do I want to put the guy on there? Why don't I put the guy on there? Let's do a guy. I don't do a lot of men as decorations. I usually use ladies, so why not? And this is very, very thin paper, and it's brittle as well, so I'm being cautious to cut this out. I may just color him a little bit. Not like the but like right here. I don't know if I want to cut as close to anything so that I don't want them to fall apart on me. We'll try it though. Let's grab the knife and see if I can cut that cut out. I'll have to go from the center, from the inside out. Just cutting it off. Got it. Might not be very neat, but I got it. There, so I can do that right there as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to start mumbling, but I was concentrated on what I was doing. And then I usually start mumbling and kind of like muttering to myself. I do it every time I catch myself. Whoops. Sure, tear his arm off. Okay, so I can put him right over top of this flower that I kind of mangled. That works. So I think I want to use some of the peacock feathers. And I think I want to just kind of ink like that right behind here. And I'm going to put him on there. He's got a little bit of a background as opposed to just that tone on tone color, which I don't want. Does he need some texture? I think he does, but I don't know what. Let me see. I don't know why I am always finding pieces of my my linen fabric, except for today. I'm not seeing it at all. It's not coming across. It's not coming out to play. Oh. However, I have some cheesecloth. And just take a piece of cheesecloth. And some vintage photo. And I'm just going to grab my little vintage photo thing and just kind of dab it into the ink. And also want to use a little bit more of that peacock feathers. So I'll just put it on the plate here. And then wipe this up with the peacock feathers. I don't want to get it wet because I want to use it right away. But it works. There we go. It's got some color. So I'm going to put that behind there. I'm going to put a little bit of glue not a lot. I'm just going to lay this in the glue and stretch it. And then right there, I can cut it off. I don't want the butterfly in there. And then I can do a little inking around him. Not a lot, just a little. And the reason I don't want to do an awful lot, and I'm not being very harsh, is because this paper is so brittle. Oh, I really like that. That looks good. Glue. So I really struggled with cutting my 1958 Canadian Home Journal apart, but then I decided that, you know, I'd rather use it and enjoy using it and make some pretty things out of it than just have it sit in a drawer and never use it. So that's why I am now using my guy. There. He's pretty cool with his sunglasses. He's ready for the beach. So I'm kind of making a mixed bag of things. But I do like him. I want to use I don't know if I want to put much more of the peacock feathers on here, as I am putting peacock feathers on there. I want to do the scorched timber all the way around. I don't know, I think I need something as a heading right on top there, but I'm not sure. I do really like how it looks just like that. So I may not do anything more to it because I kind of like the simplicity on it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments what you would do to this. What else would you put on there? I'm kind of curious. I do like it. Like they're very simple. So now I can do the same thing. Like most of the time, like what I do is I just fold them like that, and then I tuck them in somewhere, and then when I need them, I just pull them out. But I want to show you what I have here. So I'm just going to, again, ink the edges that I've just ripped off with the scorched timber, and there's my one ticket. There's another one. And there's another one. I think they are lovely, all three of them. So they're very different from these. So every time, like if you change the colors or you change the design that you're putting on there, like they just turn into something completely different. And the thread clusters I put right behind my fussy cuts or something like that, just to get some extra texture in there, and I think they're pretty. Okay. What else do I want to do? I want to do something with the bunnies. I have these bunnies. I think they are so adorable. I've got one. Do I have another one? Yeah, I do. And these are not my designs. I found these on Pinterest, and I just thought they were adorable, so I just copied them and was really bad. Like, check this one out. This one is Rob, or well, Rob in female form. Mara should be wearing this, like the coveralls, but then the bow in her hair. I think it's so cute. So I think I want to do the other set with some of the bunnies. What do you think? They would look really cute on here. Like, how adorable would that look? Or this one. Like, look at the pretty pink tutu. So sweet. I like that they're just like, they have a little bit of clothing, but they're not like overly clothed. Like, I'm not sure if I like this one as much as this one, but I know that I like the one with the lavender. It's like that. How pretty. I think that's what I want to do. I want to do something cutesy. I don't do very cutesy often. I go mostly for grungy and stuff, but in this case I think I want to do a little cutesy. Do I have 2 of these? Oh my goodness, I have 2 of these with the coveralls. Maybe I want to do the 2 with the coveralls and the tutu. Or my lady in blue. I can do like a whole blue set. How about I do a whole blue set? So I do the 2 bunnies and the lady in blue. And I have that little piece of denim, which looks great with that. What else do I have? Well, let me tell you what this is. So I have some tulle in my bin, and this tulle is really hard. It is probably from a petticoat, and so everything gets stuck in it. So this is threads from the whatever is there, and kind of a natural thread cluster that just sat in my bin. So I may use that. Do I have anything else in here that is kind of like, I could use, I may use that. And I have a blue thread cluster that I made in my video the other day. Kind of want to go with just the blues. Why not? Okay, let's see what I can do. So first off, I want to ink around them, and I'm going to use blue ink. I am, because I can. And I'm going to take the Faded Jeans. I'm using Faded Jeans, and I'm going to ink around all of them with blue. Because why not? If it doesn't look good, I can always go over it with a brown and then be done with it. But I kind of like the idea of just using just the blue. These ladies are from my, the ladies of the 1950s images. They are available in my coffee shop. The link is in the bio. So if you are looking for these ladies, these, and this one, and the sepia kids as well, they are all in my coffee shop. I'm just cutting the arm out, or the armhole out. Just gotta make sure I got it all there. And I'll put some blue. There we go. And I'll put her on the bottom here, because that's just easier. And I'm going to do a little bit of a blue inking right here. Just to give it just a little blue background. That works. And I think I want to do the thread cluster behind her. And what I'm doing right now is I am making this a little bit more pliable. When you are making these and then you're sewing over top of them and then dissolving the embroidery stabilizer material, then it gets a little stiff. So I just kind of manipulate it so that it is not so stiff anymore and get it to be a little more pliable. And then I can put this right here. I've got glue on my fingers, so the thread is sticking to it. I think I want it just like that. Like that. I want to see the number. That's why I am kind of moving it around, because I want to see that number. I think that looks pretty. It kind of looks elegant. I don't know. I kind of like it. So I'll put a little 3-in-1 glue on there. Stick that down. Whoops. Stick it down. It wants to be there. And then I'll put 3-in-1 glue behind her too, because she's going over the thread cluster now. I'm using way too much glue here. Oof, that's a lot of glue. That's going to get messy. I'm just spreading it out a little better. So I'm not squeezing the bottle, I'm just kind of using the bottle tip to move the glue around. And we'll put her right there. Oh, yeah. She's pretty. Isn't she pretty? I need some dots to put on there. And I don't show this very often when I am working with dots, because that gets so, it's tedious and a little messy, I think. But I do really like using them, so. And they just give that little touch of elegance to the ticket. I work with the power of 3. Do I have a bunch of blue ones? I do. Now the question is, can I pick them up? Yeah, there's one. Oop. Right there. I'm just looking for blue ones. I found these in a thrift store. Oh, I think I paid $1. And I got like 4 bags of them or something like that. It was a ton. I would like a lighter blue. Like a turquoise. I would love, oh, that, a sea blue, sea green. That works. Come on, get in there. That works. Pretty. So it doesn't need a lot of them. Just a few. And then you get a pretty little decoration going. I may put a couple right there as well. Maybe just one. I see one more of those dark blue ones. Did I get it? Did I? I did. Wow, that was like, I was digging for it and I actually got it. Doesn't always go that easy. That's why I don't usually do this on camera. Oh, you know what? I have this little bow. I have other bows too, and I grabbed them, put them somewhere because I was like, yep, going to use those. Oh, here they are. Because I think there's really pretty bows in there. If I take like a brighter blue and put it, I can put it right there. Yeah, that is actually exactly what it needs. Oops. There we go. I think she's really pretty. So this is definitely like, you would use this as a tuck spot. You just like tear this off and then use her as a tuck spot in a journal. I could have used a really pale blue as well, but I think that may have been just a little too pale. It needed the turquoisey blue. Okay, let's do the bunnies. Okay, I have this piece of twine. I have more. I know where the ball is. It's right in front of me. And I'm just going to unravel it. Just like that. So I'll do the two bunnies and then I think I am done for today. So if I unravel this, then it just becomes wow, fibers, fibers or something. So I can put those on here like that. Come on, I want you to be loose. Put a little 3-in-1 glue down and this in there so that it stays. Ink around the bunny, and again I'm going to ink in blue because I'm just playing right now. I have no idea what this is all turning into. But I do think they're super pretty. There. Then, oh, look at that. I have a bright orange little label. I'm going to put that down and kind of have 1 foot over top, 1 foot underneath. Oh, that works. And I have a phone number here. Let's do that. Yeah, that works for me. Okay. So I need to ink around this, and that is getting is not getting that one. It is getting the vintage photo. And same with the phone number. And I think these are both. No, this is not a sticker. This is just cut on regular cardstock. But this is a sticker. So I'm just going to put this onto the bunny. So I want it 1 foot underneath, 1 foot over top. There we go. And then I can put glue on it. And I'll use 3-in-1 because it is going over top of fibers. Making sure it's well spread out. Oh. No, 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 no. Come on. I want you to just cooperate just for a moment. Okay. I got it. There it goes. Yep. It's in the right spot. There we go. Whew. It's the female answer to Rob Roush in the coveralls. Yeah, in the coveralls. Put the phone number on there. And how easy and fun is that one? So cute. I love it. And then, oh, and look, the number, the ticket number is upside down, same on there. So now when I'm going to do this one, it's going to be a ticket number right side up. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to that, I guess. And this one I want to put right here. And I want to use that denim. Do I want to use the piece of denim or do I want to use the denim cluster? I am throwing it out to the group. Can you tell me if I should do the denim cluster like that or if I should do the denim strip? Which one would look better? I think just because I want them all to look a little different, I think the strip would look better. What do you think? I think that's what I might do. I'm just ripping it just a little bit more. I don't need a lot, just that much. Tear it again. Make sure it's fraying because it looks better if it's frayed. And put it right there, like that. I think so. I can still, oh, come on. I have so much glue on my fingers that everything is just moving along with my hands. I can still put this there. And no, I think that's too much. Okay, this is going down. Just putting a strip of glue there, or a bead of glue. Put the strip of jeans denim right there. Ink around the bunny in blue because that's what we're doing today. So I have a Peter Rabbit journal that I started a long time ago, quite a few months ago. And I think I want to finish it. I want to put these bunny tickets in there. Yeah, I want something along the top though. I know I have little labels and stuff in here. Oh, I found one. No, I don't like that one. Oh, look, I have a date. I have a date, June 1958. I can put that there. What else do I have? $1955. Oh, the voice on the farm. Sure. Why not? Like the voice on the farm better. Put that across the top. June 1958. Right. Oh, come on. Right there. I think that's cute. All right. Ink, 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 ink. Blue. So I hope you enjoyed this video, or this project. So what I did was I made tickets out of mixed media paper. So it's a little heavier and it's not as easy to get tickets out of because it is a heavy duty material. I have a couple more left that I can make, but I will do that off camera. I still have another strip that I haven't really done anything with, but I kind of like these just like that, to go just plain into a journal as a decoration. Oh, this is a sticker. And I just wanted to get some interesting tickets done and mass make them because it is Mass Make March, and I have been working on that all week. There's quite a bit of videos out there that I've done for Mass Make March, and I kind of wanted to just make one project, which I think it is really cute. I hope you enjoyed it too. And these bunnies are just lovely. I just found them on Pinterest. I didn't really pay attention where they came from. So if these are your bunnies, I love them. Love, love. And then I want this to kind of go tuck right behind the bunny. So I kind of want to just slide it right in there, like so. Okay, so the only thing I have left to do is ink around everything. And I think I'll do vintage photo. They don't need a lot of ink. They're pretty inky already. I do really like them. They're all three of them are different. The lady, of course, is elegant and pretty with a bow on the bottom and the things. And we have that one, a little bit more grungy with the twine behind it. And then we have this one, which is just cutesy. None of them are like cutesy, but yeah, they're pretty. They make beautiful tuck spots in a journal or a little pocket even. Where's my butterfly? Right here. So this is actually like, if you take a tag, do I have a tag here? I do. I have my big pile of tags that I made the other day in my collage video. Did I make those already? I don't know. But I have these tags. And so I can just put that on there as a pocket. And away you go. So I really like them. So now I can just take them apart. And then I'll just ink the edges where I've just ripped them off. And then I'll show you what I have made. Let me put all this stuff away so it's not distracting, because there's a lot of stuff here. When you start decorating, it's like you pull things from here, there, and everywhere. And just to see what would look good here, what would look good there. That one you have seen. Just so much stuff. Okay. So this one I'm keeping as a strip because I'm not sure if I want to, this one keeping as a strip. I don't know if I want to still decorate on it or what I want to do, but for now, like, I think it is really pretty actually. It can just go in a pocket and away you go. Then we have the yellow ones. So I made that one with the wax seal on it. The 70s lady with her halter dress. Then we have a butterfly with some denim. There's like garbage everywhere. A butterfly with some denim behind it. And I made these out of the flower inserts. Then there should be one more. There should be two butterflies. Where are my other oh, here's my other butterfly. So then there's the other butterfly. Then I made the turquoise ones, and I really like him. I think he's cool. I like that there's still lots of space to do something with, but I like how he turned out. And then there's the two pretty sepia people, kids. And then there's the blue ones. Which ones are your favorites? Would you let me know? I want to know which ones you like the best. Out of all of them, I think these three are my favorite for me. But I'm curious which ones you think are the most fun and which ones would you have made. That was it. I've got nothing more. So what I did was make tickets, and I made them out of 12 by 12 cardstock, and then just folded them into 4 pieces, cut the corners off with my hole punch so that you get the ticket look, like right there. And then I made them perforated with my, with my tracing wheel. So this is super sharp, and then you just go through the inside and you get perforated tickets, so they easily come apart. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. There's so many more projects coming up, and we have so much fun. I have so much fun. I don't know about you guys, but I have so much fun doing this, and I like connecting with everybody. So yeah, let me know what you thought of my video. I love that, and I will see you again tomorrow. And the next live stream will be next Friday, and I don't know what I'm going to do yet. It'll be a Mass Make March project again. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!